Hello, welcome back to David at Go Hobbies. Right, ETs, and should we call it the secret Space Force? Well, is it going under the name Space Force, or is it something else? Let's surmise. Let's say we'll call it Space Force as an acronym, right? So, supposedly, the Space Force is defend this planet and to conduct missions in space and to protect the civilization of Earth. Now, I dare say that is true, but what gets me is this: if they divulged the true extent of their capabilities, their knowledge, and their objectives, do you think you could handle the information that they withhold from us? What would be the point of no return? In other words, would it be the manipulation of the human race? Would it be genetics experiments by ETs on the human race? Would it be denial of the moon and what it really is? Or something like, we have been seeded on this earth as an experiment? Lots of theories, lots of interesting thoughts about where this could all lead. Each thing or subject, we might say, has its own interest, but the problem is not what it is your perception of it. Now, when I say your perception, is what you know, what you believe, and what you will try to understand from it. It's just human nature, curiosity. But as an old saying, curiosity killed the cat. So, one of the reasons they don't tell us is of national security. And the reason why I say national security, because if this information got into the wrong hands, it could be very detrimental to the human race as a whole. And certain key players in this country, or so should I say in this world, could use that technology and upset the equilibrium. You're thinking, what do I mean? Well, let's go for example Iran, alright? And suppose they got a technology that would be able to, let's say, neutralize nuclear weapons, right? So they could fire their nuclear weapons at, say, America, and if America shot back, they could neutralize them. So the potential is there to have a one-sided effect. So that's why the information is so guarded. That's a just hypothetical solution. But the other sort of things is, how does it affect us as a race? Was we seeded here? Now, personally, my belief is there's more to the human race than we know. And Linda Moulton Howe touched on about Antarctica and the base up there. It is very, very, very interesting what went on, or does go on up there. And there's lots of things being put out which is misinformation. I'll only tell you what I know and what I believe and what I think. I have been interested in this subject for a long time. When I was a little boy, my sister bought me some books on, let's say, how do I describe it? A different way of thinking as such. And I'm very grateful to her to getting them for me and giving them to me. It's very intriguing, but it's very thought-provoking. But it comes back to you as well as me, and that is what we want to derive from it. What's our thoughts and what's our feelings? What's our beliefs? Do you believe the information you've been told? If you found out, for example, the human race was an experiment and it was designed for a specific purpose or purposes, how would that change your view? Because some of this information that you could learn might upset your views, your feelings. And if you found out like that we was an experiment and we was genetically altered and had our genes manipulated over the years, and there was abductions, and these abductions were to find out about the progression of the development of the species. Again, it boils down to what do you want to know, what sparks your interest, and what makes you feel that you want to learn more. For me, it was, what's it all about? What is the purpose of life? Quite fundamental questions, and I feel that I'll go back to the analogy of the tree trunk where the roots go down into the ground, and what you will see is that each root will go off into a different lettuce or network of different feeder roots, and so on and so on. So you start with one subject and then you go off on a tangent into something else, and then you come back and it's all connected. It literally is all connected, and you think to yourself, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, and you get a bit of a picture. So I use the analogy of like building a picture of a puzzle, and I've worked out the outside, and I'll start putting pieces together, and over some 40 years I've put a little bit of that puzzle together, and what I believe and what I think is relevant to me. But I'm happy to divulge that information to you and see what you think about it. So that this will be in a series of videos, and each video will have its own header and stuff like that. So if you're interested, leave a comment down below. What's your interest? What do you want to take from this? What do you believe? What don't you believe? Do you believe that the human race was a genetic experiment, or is it an experiment? Do you think we are vessels for spirits. Goes on and on and on. Excuse me. So really and truly, the question's back to you. What do you believe? What do you think? What sort of information do you want me to divulge to you? I can only tell you what I know, nothing more. I can speculate, and I can tell you about my life experiences with ETs and stuff like that, and things I've done, experiments. I'll let you into a little experiment. It's a little secret. I can influence. You might not believe this, but I can influence the weather. I can influence clouds. I can influence people. You're thinking, can't. That is your belief. I know what I can do. And in another video, I'll tell you how I do it. I'm open, I'm honest, and I'll tell you the truth. And there you go. So, hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, because if you subscribe, it puts this video in front of people like yourself that are interested in this subject. So thanks everyone. Don't forget to leave a comment, thumbs up, much appreciated. Take care everyone. Bye for now.